So today's topic was inspired by a woman who completed an application for she and I to work together. Anyone who's filling out an application with me should already be very developed emotionally, spiritually. They're not new to the spiritual path. They've, very evolved already. They're not somebody who's still fighting demons. But I thought it was a great opportunity for the many women who are looking to evolve on some level, and they're still fighting demons. They're still dealing with the demonic forces and spiritual warfare. And the enemy trying to take me down. And the Illuminati and these billionaires and capitalism and the rapists and the narcissists and my evil mother and my baby daddy who's possessed by demons and this wicked world and the malevolent entities. So many women who are living and many who are following me, this is what's going on inside of them. They want to sell their products. They want to do these things in the world, but every time I take one step forward, Satan and his children come and take me back. I mean, like, the level of expansiveness of the demons that they are fighting, the protrusion of what's happening in their unconscious mind that they experience in everyday life as, see, the demons, the enemy, spiritual attacks, see? While the truth underneath it, that a person will come to this or not. But my experience working with women for the last 13 years all over the world. If you're new here, my name is Naima. I'm the founder of the Academy for Womanhood, and we help women come into full primal power, with a very distinct emphasis on Black sheep women who were born different. We work very intimately, deeply with Black sheep women who were born different, who were born to do very distinct work in this world. I am one of those women. And what I can tell you, as someone who used to be like, I'm working so hard to make this money, mad at God. What the fuck? I'm doing everything, nothing is working. Oh my God, the dramatics. I did everything. I hired a coach, I'm working hard, I'm doing everything they're doing. Just like perhaps people you know. The demons, girl, I'm telling you, the demonic realm, girl, I'm telling you, listen, I'm fighting these demons. The girl who completed the application to work privately with me at a high level to begin at an investment level of $30,000, fighting these demons. And her words were, I'm warning you. This was what she said in her application she sent to my company that has inspired today's live stream. I'm warning you, I'm fighting some demons, seriously. Babes, everything you call demons, all of y'all, any of y'all, I don't care if it's your great granddaddy who worshiped the devil before you was born. Okay, listen, we work in the realm of real power. The kind that most humans don't want. Never mind the power women don't want. Most humans don't want it. Okay? So this is why a lot of people for the rest of their life, it's going to be some struggle because the economy, because the evil Satanists, girl. People's unconscious mind pushed out into their everyday world, and they refuse to face their unconscious self. So, as I'm saying to her, because perhaps she'll see this live stream that will be uploaded onto YouTube, what's going on is the shadow aspects of yourself that are currently hidden from you, invisible to you, is what's causing you to be like, the demons are Every time I take one step forward, there's 20 steps back. Girl, they be showing up in the middle of the night. I went through a phase of that too. I remember I was in it was the first time I seriously considered suicide. I was looking for cyanide to get the fuck out of here. I share this with you because I have my own experience with this whole dark entities. And I remember one time very specifically being in the bed middle of the night and just feeling like this pressure on me. Just like, what the fuck? And it was my mind, my deep mind, your deep mind, not your conscious mind that you talk. Yeah, girl, because this and that, not that. I'm talking about your invisible mind that pulls the strings on your everyday reality. And I remember just like, and I was in this very dark night of the soul where I was still doing this. For those of you who talk about surrender, trying to figure it out, using this to try to figure it out. What is going on? You doing your pros and cons, you journal, you using, and none of us were raised by parents who told us we need to explore our unconscious mind. Our parents don't even realize how much they are a part of the creation of our unconscious mind and their parenting and how okay? So before I move on, first of all, the solution that I have for you is my pussy alchemy ritual. You can get it right now at the link in my bio, and it will only be available until Friday. For those of you who are fighting demons, for those of you, you take one step forward and 20 steps back. For those of you who be disrespected and getting kicked out of places. Those of you who you just sick of this shit playing small and struggling. My pussy alchemy ritual is for you. It's available right now at the link in my bio, and it will be going away because this is not even something I normally promote. This is something I keep in the background and I'll give it to somebody or I'll offer it to my community. It's not something I even make public, okay? It's extremely powerful for those of you who are fighting demons. So shout out to the woman who completed the application, who are so seriously fighting demons. Like her, I'm warning you. I'm warning you. I'm fighting demons for real. Yeah, okay. To continue. This heaviness. And because we all think that what's happening up here is all that there is, oftentimes we don't realize the level of gravity and weight that we are projecting out into the world that's creating our reality. And I remember being so mad, of feeling like this weight was just in my room. I remember the anger around it had me get up and start shouting declarations over my fucking life. Some of y'all are going to die fighting demons because it's your identity. You love fighting demons. It's your out. It helps you stay out of the responsibility of your power. Because I'm fighting demons, girl. I can't, girl, the economy and Trump, nigga. That's the identity you prefer. You prefer struggle. You prefer the economy being your problem. You prefer malevolent entities that's ruling the planet. You prefer that. Because the pressure and the responsibility of clean power, full power, that y'all love to just project onto the deities of past, the goddesses of past. No, not today. That's for them goddesses way back then. Not today. See, today, Trump run this shit. Malevolent entities run this shit. Demons run. See, that's what the fuck's, a lot of y'all gonna die just like that. Is that your future? Please don't have children. Please don't have children if you're in rejection of your power and you plan on fighting demons and because for the rest of your life. Sex and money are two potent areas where women, when they come into the power there, including their body, all on the line, the power is there. And I can tell you, as someone who once upon a time felt like, this is what it felt like for me. Let me talk about it for me. What it felt like when I was in this place of where it just felt like out of my control, like I was at the effect of life, not the cause, but at the effect of life. There was so much about me that I was running from and rejecting. There was so much about me that I was running from and rejecting, but because it was invisible to me, I didn't realize I was the freaking culprit, that I was the demon, I was the devil. Those people, see those fucking devils, those narcissists, because see, he a narcissist, see? Damn grape, see? Because she's a psychopath. That's why I went no contact with my mama, because she a narcissist. She a psychopathic ass bitch. See, them niggas over there. Wait, so what are you? How did you even end up opening your legs to a narcissist? How did that happen? How was a narcissist able to jump up and down on you and put cum in you? How was that able to even happen? You're just the angelic thing that he just found and you just fell down and opened. So there's nothing in you that actually runs from anything? Like you're fully available to make all the money, to be seen on camera, to host retreats around the world, to write the book and sell the book. You're ready to go speak on TED Talk stages. Yeah? Are you fully ready for all that? Or no, opportunities come your way and you say no, you reject them. You come up with stories about why you can't, not now, because are you aware of yourself at that capacity yet? Because I can tell you for myself, in 2013, I did not even realize how much I was running from myself. If you would have asked me, I would have told you I'm ready to make money now. I would have told you passionately, I'm ready to make money now. Girl, you see how hard I'm working? Girl, at the end of 2012, I was hosting webinars, okay? Instant Teleseminar was the hot platform in the coaching space in 2012. I was hosting free teleseminars with instantteleseminar.com. I was living in the Bay Area, so I was speaking at different networking events in the Oakland area. I'll be at 3 networking events in a night. Why was I still struggling to pay my rent? How many of y'all working hard? 3 jobs, 16-hour days in your business, but you ain't making the money. There's a video I put up last year, I think it was last year, that's starting to get more attention. Any of y'all saw the video where I talked about when you reinforce and explain your financial problem, when you explain why is that way, your struggle, you reinforce the struggle. Anybody here from that video? What up, B? Anybody here from that video where I had on that black zip up in the car? Where I talked about when you were like, see, everything I'm doing is not working. I'm telling you, girl, none of this works. See, I tried this, girl, nothing is working. Then when you walk around explaining why shit don't work, you reinforce that nothing works in your life. And that it's the shadow's desires way of getting its need met. So the reason why I created the Pussy Alchemy Ritual is because it wasn't until I started doing primal level, erotic level, the kind of like the real kind, like I talked about yesterday when I was on her live stream. So many women are like, yeah, I've been doing shadow work, but somehow they're still frozen, locked in their bodies, can't create the money they want because their sex is not included in the equation. Meaning you're numb down here. You haven't even addressed for a woman. Oh God, this is such a big topic right here. This is such a big topic right here. Y'all do everything but the main thing. For a woman, If your pussy is not included in your visibility, if your pussy is not included when you are writing that book or the series of books, if your pussy is not included, and what do I mean when I say if your pussy is not included? I mean if your whole self is not in on your life, it will never be sustainable. If your whole self, and I know for women, because the world has been governed and constructed by the toxic masculine ways that we don't even regard our pussies as important beyond baby making and a nut. We do not have reverence and respect for the power of our arousal. We only see the value of our coochies for making a baby and a nut. Most of us have zero understanding of the supreme, reverent, godly power of all of this. And that when you call yourself being powerful, fighting demons, being sustainably successful, where your normal is feeling good, you are fundamentally well. Your pussy is included in your whole self. Power is a responsibility. Full power is a responsibility. Those of you who know, know. So, when I started to do alchemical work with my pussy included, is when I started to realize even further how much I was the very devil that I would think other people were. I was the demon that I somehow was like, these demons, as if they were some external thing that was after me. That was my enemy. And what I mean when I say demon, what I mean when I say devil, is my unconscious self was avoiding being visible at the levels I wanted. My unconscious self was avoiding the responsibility of power. My unconscious self had ideas about what I could and could not do, but they were invisible to me. That's why it's called a shadow. If you can speak it out of your mouth, it's not a shadow. It's very conscious to you. If you can journal about it and talk about it with your girlfriends and your therapist, it's not a shadow. Shadow means it's hidden from you. Therefore, if you are sincere about fighting demons, what do I mean by sincere? Some of y'all love fighting demons. It's your out. It's your cop out. It's your way that you make sense of the world. Well, of course, we're fighting demons out here. Don't you understand? The world is run by the Satan. What do you mean? Like that's for the ones who's like, that's their whole identity. That's how y'all know what I'm talking about. Girl, lead them people there. Leave them there. Your aroused state as a woman. The parts of you that when you start doing deeper alchemical work, that's including your pussy. There's so much locked up down here for women. Just so much locked up. The level of tension in the jaw is just, and it's an 8-page ritual that gives you very specific instructions on what to say, how to start to tap into intuitive aspects beyond what I tell you to do, because it needs to be very personal once you get into it. Sometimes I feel like I just can't say enough. Get it right now at the link in my bio. It's only available till Friday. This woman completed this application. And then there was another woman who sent me a message. And this is just so many women. This is so many of you who are watching me. Like I can see who comes here. This is a business account, so I have analytics set up so I can go and see who's here. And there's so many of you who come here. Like there've been women who they watch me for months and they'll ask me questions because they're not actually, they don't want to do the work really. I'm like, you've been here for 4 months? The level of free things I've offered, low cost. I know it costs a lot to work with me, right? And I know that some people are just not ready. They're not. And then plus, I want people to have an on-ramp. So this is why there's the different things that have been offered. Heal Your Witch Wound, which is no longer available for the public. That was $197. You know, if you don't want to do the work, that's on you. This pussy alchemy ritual, you'll have access for a lifetime in his work. You will need to, at some point, admit that you like the struggle. Struggle is your safety zone. Struggle is your comfort zone. There's a lot of people who are there. Thank you for sharing the live, Jackie. Here's another thing. And I want to say this to close out this part about my own experience with feeling like there's dark, forces and you are the dark force. I created a video and it's on YouTube right now. You are the dark force. You are the dark force. We are just constantly scapegoating our power onto Satan, onto malevolent entity, onto the demons, onto Trump, onto the economy, onto narcissists, onto etc. Like nothing happened as far as your emotional state. It only happens with your agreement. Nothing with you emotionally can happen without your agreement. It's all you. But most of us do not want the pressure and responsibility of being the whole it. You want to be the whole it? You listening to me right now, do you want to be the whole it? Not because it sounds good. Yeah, I want to be the whole it. I'm the whole it. The whole it takes full responsibility for the reality, regardless of the circumstances. If you are low income, if you are like, I'm making this ritual available specifically for the low income, because people who send messages about fighting demons, they're almost always broke. They're almost always broke. I can tell you, girls who are making good money, who are at a baseline of who are, taking some kind of authority over their life, you don't hear them saying shit like this. Like, I'm fighting demons and Satan and the malevolent entity. It's always broke girls who are fighting demons. It's always girls who are in victim consciousness who are fighting demons. It's always girls who are defending their limitations who are fighting demons. Always. The ones who are the most negative projector types who are fighting demons. Always. And then if you tell them that, like the one girl messaged me, the ancestors' power is in me. Really? Oh, so you must got them ancestors who was on this fighting demon shit. Them the ancestors you talking about, babes. Because y'all love talking about ancestors as if all of them were in their power and insightful and benevolent. What about the ancestors who died fighting demons? What about the ancestors who were disobedient and didn't come into their power? It sound like them the ancestors who's influencing you, baby girl. That's what it sound like. I remember being in Bali when I realized everybody talking about the ancestors. Wait, which ancestors are you talking about? Which ones? The Madam CJ Walkers or the broke ones who was drinking at the fucking juke joint broke? Which ones are you talking about? What the fuck are you talking about? Are you the whole it or not? This is not rocket science. Are you the whole it or not? You see what I'm saying? I know what it's like to be my own enemy and think that it's something outside of me and then to get to the other side where I'm winning. This is why I can talk this shit. I'm not talking this like I'm above you or something like that. I know what it's like to be broke as shit, living with my mama on her couch, asking her to pay my $70 cell phone bill because I'm broke as shit, not taking shower for days at a time, miserable as fuck. Oh, I know what that's like. That's how I can talk how I am right now. Okay? And I know what it's like to come over into financial abundance. See, I know what it takes. This is why I can laugh at this shit and talk the shit that I do. And this is how I know a motherfucker don't want their power. Nigga, every fucking thing you need and want is here now. But you don't want it. That's the fuck why you fighting demons, blaming motherfuckers. All the shits. Keep it then, bitch. Keep it. Keep it. Go sit on the ground at the gas station, bitch. Keep it. Keep it, bitch. Keep it. You can have it. You can have your fighting demons. You can have, because niggas ain't shit, because I'm narcissistic. You can have it. There you go. Keep it. For those of you who love to travel, for those of you who love to experience the climate of different continents, yeah, because you want to get up out of the winter in New York and then go over to South America or the Caribbean, because you got it like that. For those of you who like to wake up and be like, you know what? I'm in the mood to go shopping in Paris, and you can go get a ticket to fly to Paris. For those of you who like it like that. For those of you who like to be like, you know what? I just want to get out of town. And you go get out of town. For those of you who feel like, yeah, I don't feel like driving today. I'm hiring a driver today. For those of you who like, yeah, you know what? I want to get my hair done every week. And you ain't got to think twice about it. Yeah. For those of you who like to give your mama money. Yeah. For those of you who like to take good care of your kids. Yeah. For those of you who like to feel the ease of having money in your account, yeah. Yes or no? Yeah, okay. See? You see that? You see that? It's options. If you a broke girl and all you can afford is $47, get the pussy alchemy ritual. You can get it right now with the link in my bio. It disappears on Friday. Again, I put that there for the girls who's struggling, fighting demons, broke, but they like, I'm ready to come up. I'm ready to stop being disrespected. I'm ready to be bigger in the world. I deserve better. I know I deserve better. I know I was playing victim, fucking around, acting like I'm not the whole it, and I'm done with that shit. I'm done with getting spit on, kicked out. I'm done with constantly being negative, looking at other motherfuckers live the life that I want to live. And I know it's more to me. I know I got life in me. I know I was born abundant, and I'm done with this broke shit. And I'm going to take my little $47 and get to work with my pussy power, my magnetism. All of the power sitting up in here, all up in here. That's what the pussy alchemy ritual is for. For those of you who are beyond that, and you already been doing a kind of shadow work, a kind of magnetic work, a kind of true high-level spiritual work, you want to get shadow gold. You can get that right now with the link in my... Here's what, this, especially with this right here, just this, what this woman sent me about fighting demons. I want to connect this topic of fighting demons with that, okay? Yes, when people become split from themselves. Yes. So again, continuing with this topic of fighting demons, but connecting it to that video. Okay. So this woman who says she's fighting demons, and everybody else here who on some level is fighting some entity, whether it's capitalism, you fight Elon Musk, all the things, right? And specifically for melanin dominant folks. Now, I know there's other folks here who are not melanin dominant, so, it is what it is. Right now, I want to talk specifically to melanin dominant folks, okay? We know, okay, that there has been a concerted effort for centuries to have the whole world, and really millennia, not even just centuries, millennia, to have the whole world look at pigmented, particularly melanin dominant people, as inherently weak, not smart, demonic, evil, unclean, uneducated, inferior, not human, that. Okay. Now, let me pause. Take that in, what I just said. Okay. There has been concerted effort for millennia. Millennia is thousands of years. Okay, millennia. For millennia, there's this concerted effort to make this specific group of people be seen by all of society as inherently less than. Just take that in for a minute. Not white people, not Thai people, not Hawaiian people, not Indian people, not South American people, not Vietnamese people, not Canadian people, not Australian people. These melanin dominant people. These people. Only these people. The effort, for millennia. Not for 10 years, not for 100 years, not for 500 years, not for 1,000 years, millennia, just these people. Not all the variety of Asian people, not the Russian people, not the French people, not the Nordic people, just these people. These people. Okay? So a couple things. There's a wondering, why these people? Why these people? Of all the people, why these people? Why are we cutting noses off of these people? Why are we feel such a need to endlessly paint these people as less? Just billions upon billions of dollars, strategy, attention, deliberate intent to paint these people as less than. What are you feeling so far? What's coming through you as I'm saying this? These people who are inherently weak, inherently inferior, inherently dirty, not smart, we must. They're so unimportant. They're so low. We must put forth so much effort to ensure everybody You should get it automatically, Pink Oreo. Pink Oreo, hi. We're the chosen ones, anger. What else? What else is coming through you as I'm saying this? Or I'll ask it to you like this. When you see something, just in your everyday life, when you see something that appears to be weak, dirty, inferior, less. Do you feel such a concerted effort to make sure it stays there? Do you feel such a concerted effort to paint it as do you feel such a concerted effort to invest time and energy and money? Anybody see that video of these scientists who were in the lab? They just found this corpse some in Egypt, where all the material of that corpse proves that this was a king, a black king. Thank you, Emporium. Give me some context, Bucky. What do you mean defeated? I'm wondering, did I save it? There's a video, I just saw it, I think yesterday, where it was like, this man was like Australian or, British maybe, where they were in this lab and there was this corpse that they just found relatively recently. So not like 100 years ago, but I want to say sometime within the last 30 years. Anybody here saw that video? And you could hear, the whole point about the video was the hearing of how disturbing it was to them to recognize that this being that has all the data that the corpse is giving them, that this was a royal man of superior genetics, just a superior being, and how much it's in line with the sculptures found in Egypt with the nose cut off, and that we must paint these royal people as weak, naturally, inherently, because we have to be a threat of some sort. Otherwise, why focus on melanated folks like that? Yeah. But this is why I asked you to bring it into your everyday life. When you see someone who's actually weak, really, like maybe they, are weak. You can see they're weak. They have one leg. They can't read, right? They're poor. And they just are on every level are all these inferior things. I mean this in your real life. Do you feel the need to go out of your way to invest time and money for millennia to make sure you paint this one-legged, illiterate, dirty being as inferior? I'm actually a bit like wondering why I don't see a bunch of messages from y'all in here getting exactly what I'm putting down. Exactly. You may pity them or not consider them at all. You definitely are not going to put together a whole campaign, organize with your people to put together a whole campaign to make sure you paint these one-legged, illiterate, dirty, weak people as inferior beings. So I want to just give, see how much time I just spent on that, because we need to begin to look at this. And I'm connecting this to the whole fighting demons thing and the internalized self-hate. That's where we're going. The internalized self-hate that we then start calling fighting demons, because this shit inverts. Okay? I know we don't take it serious, but perhaps today you will start to take it serious. So this is what has been the portrayal since before you and I were born. Okay? Just think about, for those of you who have had conversations with your grandmother, your great-grandmother, about racism in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, how bad it was. Any of y'all have conversations with your grandmothers and great-grandmothers, or even for those of some of y'all have spoken to your great-great-grandmother and grandfathers. And they told you about horrific stories of racism and brutality from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, right? And so just imagine being alive at them times and what that would do to the inside of a being, to the mind, to the well-being. Or for those of you who read Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome by Dr. Joy DeGruy. Anybody here read that book? That's sensational. Dr. Joy DeGruy is phenomenal. She's a psychologist, and she wrote a book called Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And she made a ton of comparisons to bring home how today Black America, in many ways, is acting out a sort of deliberate smallness, abuse. Some people could call it that, a whooping, what we call it. So deliberate smallness, abuse toward children, just a variety of fear-based, scarcity-based tactics in our Black culture that are all post-traumatic slave syndrome. And she makes a variety of comparisons and things to make the point. I ran into her too some years ago at a comedy show in Sacramento. When I tell you I fanned out. She was sitting behind me and I didn't even know. And I stood up to do something. I turned around and I saw her, girl, and I was like, oh my God. We took a picture and everything. So, to be alive during Jim Crow, all frequency, humans are demons. Demons are not some external, invisible thing. I want everybody here to know that for the record. Demons are not, it is the being, it's us as individuals that project out energies on others. We are the demons. There's no external demon. That's why in all of your ritual and even all your, voodoo, spell casting, all the things, it's about taking an object, whatever that object is, a skeleton, a glass of water, some hair, some kind of object, and imbuing your intent on it. There is no external, invisible demon making you do something. And oh God, there is none of that. That's the whole fucking trick. It is you. You are the demon. How many of y'all saw that clip from that David Banner? Was that his name? When I tell you, rarely do you hear a Black man saying straight up, we are the fucking demons. They keep having us look at an outside demon to keep the power off of us. An outside devil to keep the power off of us. You saw that sensational enigma, that David Banner clip? There is no, for this person here, even demons tell the truth. You're talking about yourself. This is everybody. But they keep scapegoating it off onto an external demon to keep them out of the responsibility of their own power. This is the whole freaking point. Most of y'all do not want your power. I'm telling you. I want to say this too before I go on, because I can see how I could keep going this way, but I want to finish this point to help you start to look at how insidious self-hate is. So I'm going to go there, but hold on, let me get right here. I want y'all to know for the record that Black people are where they are because the majority of us don't want our full power. Just know that. It's not because of racism or they removed DEI or whatever that thing is that I was talking about. It's not because of the politics. It's not because of and trauma we inherited from slavery. It's not because most of us melanin dominant folks can literally take over the planet if we wanted to. If enough of us decided we were going to rule the world, we could. Please know that. If enough of us decided that we were literally going to run the whole world, we could. I want you to know when y'all say we at the bottom, because we want to be there. I want you to know that. That might be hard to accept. It's because that's where we feel safest. It's the same thing with the people who gonna go to their grave fighting demons. It feels safer, more familiar, more comfortable than being a vast, embodied, and where this is your natural state. That feels like too much, feels like a threat, overwhelming for most of us. This is why the whole thing about we're projected to be at the bottom in wealth by 2050, all of the data, is because the majority of Black folks, you give them a house in the suburbs, a job, or some kind of reliable income, their version of what feels like some kind of family, they're fine there. I want you to, that's what this is. That's most, okay? So you got to decide who you are and what you after, because that doesn't have to be you. Just know, for those of you who are like waiting for some, it's only going to happen when enough of us are serious about full power. And I'm telling you, full power is, to most of us, full power looks and feels extreme, but it's actually who we are when we stop playing small, lying, scapegoating shit onto all the things anything and everything. So I'm saying that for all of the Elohims and all of these big old spiritual sounding people who come on here talking about they chosen, they children of God, they the Elohim, they the I am that I am, and all these big old spiritual, I'm the ancestors, I'm the power, I'm the God, I'm the son, I'm the child of Ra, I'm all of these motherfucking things, and they got another damn thing that they scapegoating their power onto. Miss me, I know who we are. You have to go to one of them ones over there and talk that. I know who we are. And I know that when enough of us who are sincere about extreme power, which is not actually extreme, is who we are, enough of us go that route, we will run the world. And as I've often said, in our right mind, a refined heart, and our refined primal states, that's what it is. The rest of this shit is just fucking around. Just whatever the fuck y'all want to call it. Shits and giggles, unserious. There's nothing exceptional about the shit that we doing. There's nothing exceptional about this shit that we doing. We're far beyond even the shit that we think it, like the shit that we call GOAT behavior. Michael Jordan, Serena Williams, Denzel Washington, all of that. That's even inferior for us. I'm telling you, most of us do not want our full power. But we can make a decision and change the game. So, just to say that for the record. Now, let me finish this so we can chip away at this internalized self-hate. If you are low income or financially struggling, if you are tired of disrespecting yourself and you're ready to, not just tired and you just hanging out and talk, but you're ready to end the disrespect of yourself. If you're done with trying, but nothing is working. I'm doing everything, but nothing is working. Constantly fighting a damn demon. Constantly on some spiritual warfare shit. And you're ready to be done with that. Right now, get my pussy alchemy ritual. And for the person who told me they got it, is it in your inbox? It should deliver to your inbox within 60 seconds of you buying it. Anybody here got it and it delivered immediately to their inbox? It's only $47. It's specifically, I mean, obviously women who are financially abundant can get it too, but it's specifically, I put it up for this limited time, specifically for the broke girls, and the woman who inspired me even making it available to the public by filling out an application to she's warning me that she's fighting demons. It's her own mind, deep shadow mind projected out. That's all it is. all of y'all who have a spiritual warfare, it is your deep, invisible mind acting itself out. And really, it's an invitation for you to go deep within to explore the hidden aspects of yourself. I got to find a word for it, that there's been such a disservice. The church has done a lot of good in the ways that they have, but they're doing such a disservice. Constantly talking about this spiritual attack it's just another way of scapegoating. We gotta, anyway. It's not other people's demons. You must have just gotten here, Chaza. It's not other people's demons. It's yours, unaddressed. When you are in relationship with everything that's going on with you, you know exactly when it's somebody else's shit and when it's yours. You see what I mean? This is high level work that most of y'all not gonna do. You're gonna waste, maybe I shouldn't say most of y'all not gonna do, but most people are not gonna do. You're gonna waste your time on TikTok, dragged all over the place. It's just what it is. This is true too. So somebody asked a question. Can you explain that a little more? Heal, sexual assault, trauma, sexual DV, domestic violence. So this is any trauma, right? I want to talk about this as trauma, period, right? This person brought up sexual assault and domestic violence. All of this, and let's go further because this is good right here. So in the video that I talked about where I said melanin dominant folks need to get good with demons because practically all of humanity has it in their deep mind that Black people are inherently dirty, unsmart, wicked, less than human, etc. And I talked about the splitting that occurs typically when we're younger and we're born whole. Okay, we're born whole. Let's start there. Okay, so this is going to answer your question, no nickname, and anybody else here who's dealing with some kind of trauma, any and all the traumas that split the being. Okay, so all of us are born whole. Those of you who have small children, right? You've seen a newborn baby, right? Right. For those of you, I have nieces and nephews, right? So we all know, just imagine a 3-month-old. Is there any shame here? Is there any shame here in this 3-month-old? Is there any shame here? Is there any self-doubt in this 3-month-old? Is there any I want it, but I can't afford it? Is there any of that? Is there any I want him to like me? I want to be, is there any of that in this whole thing? None of it. Is there any guilt? Oh, any guilt in this? None, right? None. Whole and complete. And that baby is born to a male and a female. Okay? And that male and that female has their belief system that they pour onto this thing through telling them what they can and can't have, what's good, what's bad. And when this 3-month-old is 3, 4, 5, 6 years old and is watching the mother and the father, right? Let's say this 3-month-old becomes 3 years old and becomes 5 years old and 7 years old. And this child who's, at 2 years old wearing a soggy diaper, need to get that diaper changed, is running around the house. Mom is watching this. Watching her mom, watching that. And watching her mom yell and fight back. Okay? This 4-year-old is watching that. Okay? Let's say The 4-year-old, the 5-year-old is watching somebody in the house, anybody, a brother, an uncle, an aunt. Yeah, bitch, because these motherfuckers, this shit is trash, nigga. Motherfucker. True. Children are exactly. They are the most receptive beings who cannot think for themselves fully before the age of 10. Right? So they're watching that. They are showing, right? For those of you who've had little kids, right? Oh my God, the energy these people have. They're not like, oh God, I'm so tired. I don't have energy. They're not taking supplements to get energy. They're not drinking coffee. These things is jumping off walls. I have a niece. Oh my God. We're like, we need to put this girl in gymnastics. This girl was bouncing off the couch as soon as matter of fact, my niece has so much energy, she wanted to run before she could even walk. Literally, you put her down, she tried to run. We'd be like, baby, you need to walk for her. She wasn't even trying to walk. She wanted to run immediately, right? And then, so let's say this 3-year-old just got energy up the wazoo. And her mama saying, you move too much. Sit your ass down. Sit down. You move too much. You move too much. Sit down. Sit down. Sit down. Mm-hmm. She watches her grandmother berate her mother. Okay. That's like me at 3 years old watching my grandmother berate my mother. You shouldn't have had that little girl to begin with. Yeah, I told you around here. I told you to keep your legs closed. Run around here. And I told you that nigga was no good. Just in any scenario you can think of. Think of yours. Just think of yours. Think of your scenario with your grandpa, grandma, mom, sister, brother. Just think about it. Think about it. Think about for those of you who was going to Bible study, young, 6, 7, 8, 9 years old, and your little innocent, curious mind, just wow. And you asked a question, and they say, "Stay in a child's place. Be quiet. Stop. Listen," and start knocking all that curiosity down. Let's say you was a little girl, ooh, or boy. Boy, you love you some music. Oh my God, you love you some music. You was like this. When you was 3, and then as you got older, see, because when you do certain shit at 3, it's cute. When you do it at 12, folks start calling you fast. Wait a minute, how did I become fast? I always like to dance, only now I got titties and ass. So now I'm fast. So this thing I like to do, enjoying the music, I'm not even thinking about no sexual shit. I'm 12. I ain't started my period yet, but this puberty thing that started, now I got titties. And I'm dancing the same way I was dancing at 7. But only now, my 30-year-old uncle is looking at me a certain kind of way. And my grandma see that, and my mama see that. And now I'm fast. Now I'm fast. Now I'm fast. So now when they see me having a good time, moving, enjoying the beat, stop moving like that. You fast. Stop moving like that. Why are you dancing like that? Change this music. Who you think you is, little girl? What you doing? Now, your vivaciousness, your brightness, now you become hyperconscious. You don't really know what the problem is. You just know that your grandma gave you a tone and she ain't improving. So then okay? So all of those examples I just gave right there is how you go from this whole thing to being split. Because you better not move like that or else your grandma gonna have something to say. You better not ask no questions. Don't be curious. Otherwise, they gonna shut that shit down and tell you getting out of line, you out of a child's place. All of these things that was just a part of you that made you a full, whole thing. You become split now. So then you become this version of you that you have figured out. This is what gets your grandma not saying nothing to you. This is what gets your mom yelling at you less. Or when you act like this, your mom lets you do what you want to do. When you act like this, you get to get McDonald's. When you act like this, but when you act like those other aspects of you, where your creativity lives, where your aliveness lives, where your curiosity lives, where your abundance lives, you get yelled at, you get in trouble, and you don't get what you want. So then this goes down into the shadow, and you forget all about it. It's hidden from you. And again, that's where your creativity is. That's where your highest excitement is. That's where your expeditiousness is. That's where your knowing is. That's where your aliveness is. But you have pushed it down to the shadow and you forget all about it. And then this becomes your personality. This that your grandma yells at you less about. This that gets you approved of at the church, with your mom, at dinner. This gets you approved of. This is gone. So you're now split. You're split. Is this making sense? I know it is, right? So by the time you're 13, 14, 15, this is all we're seeing. You got this whole aspect of yourself, but this is all we're seeing right here. Then you get into your 20s, and let's say you scrolling through TikTok, and you see this girl who the same age as you. She cute, girl. She dancing. Oh, and she's so embodied, and she killing it. And you look at her like, she ain't all that. She ain't. What's happening right there? What's happening right there? What's happening right there? Y'all need to put it together. This is how you need to be looking at yourself. Okay, put it together. What just happened right there? Projection, exactly. Say somebody else. Say more. What just happened right there? Jealousy. Why? 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 Nobody is just jealous. Is this jealous? This thing right here? Is this thing right here jealous? This 3-month-old? Is this 3-month-old jealous? Where does the poor self-esteem and self-worth come from? I just laid it all down. Y'all should be able to connect the dots at this point. What's that right there? It's what you... okay, I can't really... So you got... It's like you all have it... It's like you're giving answers. So remember, somebody used the word projection here, and then how she was raised. So there's two things going on at the same time. Yes, projection, but the projection can... I want to be clear about what a projection is. A person, when you're projecting, you're taking an idea that you're a repressed idea. So it's not a conscious idea. When people are projecting, oftentimes, especially negatively, they don't realize they're doing it until it's brought into their attention. So a projection is typically a repressed idea or desire and it's repressed that you're pushing out onto someone else negatively. So remember, she used to dance fully embodied. Remember her? Did y'all forget that we said she pushed that down into the shadow? Did y'all forget that part? That she used to dance. Did y'all forget that part? Yes or no? Did you forget that part? Answer me that part. Because that'll in part explain why y'all not able to put it together after I laid all that down. Did y'all forget that I said she pushed that down? So you weren't able to make the connection that part of the reason why now in her 20s, she looks at this girl on TikTok killing it is because she repressed that aspect of herself and she forgot that she actually loves to dance and she dances like that too. And because it's now repressed and in her shadow, she doesn't even recognize that that's why she's projecting negatively onto this person. She's not an empty shell. It's not an empty shell. Is very much alive. A projection is very much an animated aspect of herself that's been repressed. Do y'all see that? Are you putting it together? Maybe you need a little time. Why am I sharing this with you? Multiple pieces. A lot of y'all are walking around with self-hate. This is, first of all, this is a human thing, and it's strongly a melanin dominant thing for the very reasons that I laid down earlier when I talked about the great efforts for millennia to paint people in the minds, the deep minds of humanity as inherently wicked, inferior, unclean, unintelligent. And so many of us, we don't even realize how much we've internalized this. So much we've internalized this. So there's that coupled with the houses that we were lived in. This is why I'm telling y'all, for those of y'all who know you got some self-help going on, fighting demons, all the scarcity things, you need to go get the pussy alchemy ritual right now in my bio. It's for specific. I'm a company. Obviously, it does not benefit a company to cater to poor people, broke people. I don't even sell this. I sold it years ago. I'm making it for sale because of the woman who filled out the application and to make it available until Friday only. So to move this along, one, get the Pussy Alchemy Ritual right now at the link in my bio. It's only available till Friday. What we call jealousy, envy, like y'all was even saying it when you were saying she was looking at her jealous. Jealousy is what happens. Envy is what happens, particularly jealousy. Envy is very different. Like you could, for example, I love seeing women win. Like, love. Like, one could call that envy. Fine. Fine. Jealousy is different. Jealousy always has to do with a woman who's repressed a desire and she forgot about it. She, like the girl who liked to dance when she was 12 and she pushed it away. And I told you when it goes down to the shadow, it becomes invisible to you. It's not in your conscious mind. That's the thing. Like a person here who said, I'm tired of myself. Probably not. You probably actually like it exactly like that. That's the way this shadow stuff works. It's invisible. And it just runs your life in the background. And you don't even, like how you have apps on your phone in the background and you don't even see them doing their thing, but they're draining the battery on your phone. It's the same thing with your shadow. And the only way you can see it at work is when you look at the results of your life. So saying I'm tired of myself, shadow. I'm working so hard, but I just can't make the money, shadow. Looking at others and projecting, especially when it's a strong projection, shadow. Like all of this is shadow behavior. So jealousy is a repressed desire or an aspect of yourself that you push down from a place of shame and forgot about. So that could be a certain way you like to dress as a teen. and you got shamed for it and you pushed it down and started dressing different. Then now here you are 35 and you see this 35-year-old woman looking hot as fuck in this dress. And you're like, look at hoe looking like a damn hoe. When you wish like that was you once upon a time, but you pushed it down because when you got called a hoe, you didn't know how to stand strong in it. Or when you got called fast or whatever, you didn't know how to stand in it. Or you got shamed about anything, being in a relationship a certain kind of way. Maybe your mom hated men and she judged every man you ever got with. Every young boy when you was in your teens, 20s, she shamed and judged, and she made you start looking at men a certain kind of way. So now you took that on. And now before, when you easily had boyfriends or lovers or whatever, and you enjoyed it, you liked it, whatever, but then you took that on. Now you got this, you become possessed by this hate for men. And now here you are, 40 years old, not in a relationship, not because you actually wanted that, but because you took on your mom's idea. So now when you see other women, or maybe you're one of those decenter men women, or you see other women in relationships and you got a snarl look on your face, projection, a repressed desire. My mom and my sister have been the worst to me, and I don't know what I did. They are so bad to me. Tell the truth. You know exactly what's going on. That's another thing. When we tell the truth, we know. We always know. We might not want to admit it, but we know. How do we regain our feminine power without it oppressing? Without it being oppressive to our sons. Okay, I think that's what you meant. Without it being oppressive to our sons. Excuse me, because patriarchy damaged them. So the mere fact that I'm even like, shows me that there's such a contortion in you around this, and you're sending it out this way. So hold on, I'll entertain it. So correct me if I'm wrong, T. Something about the way you worded this tells me that you see feminine power as something that you see as oppressive to men or boys, or potentially oppressive to them. So you need to say more about that. You have an idea in your mind about what feminine power is and what it looks like in your reality. Exactly. What Miss Roxy said, that. What do you mean by balance? Any other questions? So having this awareness of yourself, having awareness of, and I would really love to see somebody, the person who's called to this, to really, at a collective level, because worldwide, melanin dominant people have inherited, the effort, it's affected all of society everywhere, every continent, everywhere, except for the few places where it hasn't. And it has so much strength in the deep minds of melanin dominant folks. And when that shifts, which is going to take great concerted effort, and only a person who's truly called, fully called, can really be a part of facilitating the unlock. Because a big part of the lock is hidden inside of religion, or the lock. The lock is inside of religion, and so much of the unlock is going to have to do with somebody being called to some kind of, I experience it as something elegant, because whenever we start getting into conversations about power, Black people are the number one folks to go to the Bible. A person has to be really called to do that. It's not something you do because you angry. How to deal. Narcissist praying for you to come back. I feel the pull. Go back. You want to go back. Sounds like you want to go back. It'd be a really good time for you to be honest, Benjamin. It'd be a really good time for you to be honest. Don't you want to go back? And this is where, I'll say this for any woman who's, the pussy knows always. You always know. Whether you will admit that you know is something else entirely. Okay? That's another way that women avoid their power. You know, you always know. Always. Most women will not admit that they know because knowing will put you in the responsibility that most of us don't want. And that can change at any time. Just know that you can decide you want the responsibility because in the responsibility is the power, the sovereignty. I do offer like 1 hour sessions. They're $1,000. I made the Pussy Alchemy ritual available for low income girls, you know, folks who just don't have the money to work with me in a real way. Okay, it's $47 and you can get it right now and it's only there until Friday. And shout out to the young lady who inspired me, even letting it be available for the public. She would want to go back to a narcissist because the shadow's desire is always going to get its needs met. You can't shame it. You're always going to get what you deeply want, even if you think it's hidden or you. So whatever she gets going back there, it's the same reason why you do any kind of harm to yourself, whether it's overeating. Why do you keep overeating when you know you're going to be nauseous and it's going to hurt? Why do you do the things that you do that you know are going to bring you pain? It's your way of getting that deep need, hunger, desire met. And it's in the shadow. Remember, only things that are shameful are in the shadow. There's nothing that you're proud of that's in the shadow. So it's in the shadow because you feel shame for wanting it, but you still want it. Do you see how powerful this is? How much this would liberate you? Doing deeper shadow work, not just sitting down journaling about childhood trauma and crying about it and thinking you did shadow work because you're tired from crying from childhood memories. That is not shadow work. So my tools are high level. It's the work that most people never do, even those of you who think you're doing work, you know, and it really depends on who you are.